Representing the Minister for Energy, Environment and Climate Change. With the 10th of August meeting on the National Energy Guarantee fast approaching, the Victorian Government has yet to indicate its position on the NEG. Modelling released last week showed that the NEG would not reduce emissions, not drive investment in renewable energy and will not address climate change, but it will keep energy prices higher compared to a scenario with a more ambitious reduction target. The NEG has also been criticised for a ridiculously low 26% emission target that cannot be changed and has been described as an enabler for coal. My question is, on what conditions will the Andrews Labor government support the federal coalition's National Energy Guarantee?
Minister, Mr Jennings.
Thank you, President. I thank Ms Ratnam for her question. I share many of the concerns that she has expressed in relation to the design of the NEG as we currently understand it. The very real challenge for this nation is to acquit multiple responsibilities in relation to energy supply. That is to provide certainty and confidence at consumer level, at industry level, and in terms of driving new investment in energy. That confidence is actually something that this nation could have sorely done with for more than a decade, I would have suggested. Beyond that, in terms of the contribution that various elements play in terms of the price to industry and the price to households has been an obvious driver of concern to all governments around the country and continues to be a concern to all governments around the country and indeed our community. Beyond that, in terms of your concerns about whether the targets for greenhouse gas abatement and the mechanism by which that could be achieved would be effective or be subjective to a political override of the will of the government of the day, would be, if that is your concern, that would be my concern as well. Now, within that, what I volunteered to you about concerns that Victoria may have about the NEG, I'm not in a position to preempt on behalf of my colleagues or the government what our preconditions for agreement to the NEG may be, but I can assure you, and I can assure the chamber and the community, that we are actively considering each and every one of those issues that are embedded in your question.
Ms Ratnam on a supplementary question.
Thank you, President. Thank you, Minister, for your response. So far, only the ACT Labor Greens government is sticking its neck out for the climate and renewable energy in the debate on the NEG, indicating that they will find it very difficult to support the NEG without a more ambitious target and if the scheme continues to back coal. So my question is, will the Andrews government join with the Labor Greens government in the ACT and stand up for renewable energy by rejecting the NEG unless it provides for an increased emissions reduction target and a fast transition to renewable energy and away from coal?
Minister.
Thank you, President. I reckon an astute listener to my first substantive answer may have actually realised that the threshold of the confidence I can convey to the chamber and the community was reached during my substantive answer. Those issues that you're concerned about are live issues for Victoria to consider, the government in Victoria to consider, and indeed for the nation to consider. And so we're about 3 weeks out from the critical time frame by which we'll address these issues. I encourage you to continue to be concerned about those issues and keep an eye out for it. Certainly within government, I will be doing the same.
Ms Springall.